Bello! Welcome back to Jack and Erica. This weekend was the February Orlando Informer Meetup at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. It's been a while since we've been there. We've gone before.
Yeah, the meetup itself is called the Orlando Informer Meetup. It's a separate ticketed event that Universal puts on.
No, Orlando Informer puts on.
Sorry.
At
Universal.
Yeah.
As you can tell, it's been a minute. Anyway, it was this past weekend because they do a meetup in February and it goes through the weekend, so it's like Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
You can buy a single ticket or a 2-night ticket, so you can go like just Friday or just Saturday, or you can go Friday and Saturday. Last year when we did it, we did the 2-night ticket.
Yeah, we did the 2-night ticket. We did it in February. We shot some shots that we're going to insert here to show you how our time was. Now, mind you, things at theme parks change rapidly, especially here in the Orlando area. So some of the stuff that you see in our videos might not be the same as it was this year, just because theme parks are constantly changing. But we wanted to show you our experience. We absolutely love the event. I would honestly probably pay for the Orlando Informer Meetup. I wouldn't do the summer one, but I would definitely do the February one because you get the
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, you get Mardi Gras included there. So I would definitely do that, and then also do like the November one if you could swing it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that they have a February meetup, a June meetup. We say no to the June one just because we heard that one's really, really busy.
Yeah, just because the kids are out of school.
Yes.
And a lot of like families are already here and they hear about it if they're at Disney or SeaWorld. Therefore, they add it on to their trip just because, for those of you that don't know, the Orlando Informer Meetup is a meetup that's after the park closes, and it's a separate ticketed event, and there's unlimited food
and drinks.
Yeah.
Not alcoholic drinks. You can buy alcoholic drinks separate, but I'm talking like butterbeer, frozen butterbeer, hot butterbeer, pop,
slushies,
icy, whatever you want to call them.
We've even seen people walking around with monsters.
Yeah, monsters they give out. And then food, it's basically like every restaurant is almost open. So like Mel's Diner's open, Richter Burger's open, both the Harry Potter like Hogshead and the Three Broomsticks.
Leaky Cauldron's
open.
Oh yeah, and they also serve hot butterbeer. So you could actually try all three, actually 4 butterbeers. So you could do cold butterbeer, frozen butterbeer, hot butterbeer, and ice cream butterbeer.
Yeah, which is my favorite, the ice cream. So Florian Florida Skews is part of it, where you can go try all the ice cream. Yep. So like, we absolutely love this event. We basically didn't go this year because of the baby, because I just like, it's just too much food, because it's a night of like eating and riding rides, and I can't ride rides anyway. Yep. But we wanted to share it with you, share some of the footage we got last year, because we really love this event. Yep. And if you want to go to Universal and you can line your trip up with this event, this is like totally worth it.
Yeah. And back to what we were saying is that there's one in February. We'll start like from January since it's the year calendar. So the first one happens in February. Then there's one in June, which we don't recommend just because of what we already said. Then there's one in November. Which is the one that we recommend just because it's like right before Thanksgiving, and that's usually like when the theme parks are not as busy and like kids are still in school, people are still at work. Therefore, if you can swing it, I definitely recommend that one, because
that was our very first meetup we ever went to. We did the November one, and it was like just amazing. Christmas decorations are up.
Yeah, the Christmas decorations are up. I walked onto the Velocicoaster at that one.
Yeah.
Erica doesn't ride.
I don't ride that one.
But even Hagrid, baby or not, she does not ride that one.
That was too intense for me. But even like Hagrid's, which normally throughout the day, I think we only waited maybe a half hour tops, which that's about the only ride at the Orlando Informer Meetup that gets long still, but long as in like 30, 45 minutes max, not over an hour.
And the one cool part, while we're talking about rides, before we finished our other thought, this is also the opportunity that you, as an adult, can ride pterodon flyers.
Yeah.
Which we got the opportunity to ride pterodon flyers the last meetup that we went to. I hated it because I love roller coasters, but I don't like ones where like my feet are dangling. I just felt like I was gonna fall out of the ride the whole time, so was not my type of roller coaster. I like ones that are fast and go upside down, and I just like that thrill. But this one was just like not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But for those of you who don't know, pterodon flyers on a regular day at Universal, you have to be accompanied by a child. I don't know if it's under a certain like height or if it's under a certain age, but we'll put it down in the description, or we'll put it here on the screen to let you know what the like requirements are. But at the Orlando Informer Meetup, as an adult, they give you, out of a drawing, they give you the opportunity to ride pterodon flyers while you're there.
Like basically, once you buy a ticket, and it gets close to the event, they'll email you and say, like, would you like to be added into the lottery? Because they kind of do it like a drawing. So they'll say, like, do you want to be added into the Pterodon Flyers lottery? And you just try to get chosen from the lottery. We got the first meetup, we didn't get it. The second meetup, we got it. But you're really not missing nothing if you don't get your name pulled for the lottery. But it's just cool that they offer it. And the only reason why they do a lottery is because they can't bank on everybody getting through, because they only let one adult on. So like Jack and I didn't get to ride it together. We each like had to ride separately. So to make sure they can get through, they only allow a certain number of people on that one.
And back to our other thought about the timing. So finally, there is 2 of them in December. So there is a total of 5 meetups a year as of the recording of this. So you have the February, you have the one in June,
One in November.
1 in November, and 2 in December. We've never been to the December ones. We've heard if you can do, like, if you have to do a December one, do like the first weekend December one. It's not as busy. The other one usually falls like December 15th, 16th, around the middle of like December, right before crazy like Christmas holiday here in the U.S. And that one they say is absolutely like crazy, super busy. But we just love the Orlando Informer Meetup because like you get to try all the food, you get to
try all the drinks, like, and when I say like all the Harry Potter drinks, you get to try them all. The Aussie fizzy orange juice,
pumpkin,
the lemon squash, the pumpkin juice, the pumpkin fizz, all the butter. Like I chugged probably like 12 butter beers last year, because you can just go get one and then you walk around and go get another one.
Yeah, and there are some things that happened or that are happening now at the Orlando Informer that are new. So like when Eric and I went, every time you checked in, they gave you like a $15 gift card.
Yeah, so check-in usually starts at 3. I'm not positive if that's still the same, because obviously this was a year ago, but I would assume that hasn't changed. If I can find it online, I'll make sure that I let you know in the comments if that's true. But usually you check in to get like your wristband at 3. This is outside of the park. And then at 5 o'clock, you can gain entry into the park. And then at 7 o'clock, usually the park closed. At least the time that we went, the park closed at 7. So then food started an hour after that at 8. And then the food ran basically from 8 till the event closed.
Yep. And when we did go, we had Universal Studios Florida each time. So at the time they would like separate you, like you would check in, because it wasn't like at, I think it's now in the old Nickelodeon stage, the sound stages of Nickelodeon,
where you check in
in now, which is like inside the park. When we went, check-in was always outside the park. So then they like divvied you up into either Islands of Adventure or the Universal Studios
side, just for like crowd control and make check-in go faster.
So we always got the studio side. Therefore, we would always go back to Harry Potter, because pro tip is Harry Potter is the furthest part of the like studios that like security starts to clear out.
And they can clear it out quickly.
Right. So like security starts in
Diagon Alley.
Yep. And so they would clear that out, and then the food would honestly like start right away. So like we would start with a butterbeer or
the ice cream,
because they would clear that out, and then the people that are working the ice cream parlor
basically just said like, let us see your wristband, and they would start serving you. So you didn't necessarily have to wait till 8 o'clock.
Yep.
which is why we always started there, because we were like, oh my God, we can already get ice cream and butterbeer and it's not even event time.
Yeah. So we would start there, get our Harry Potter out of the way. Then Erica loved Richter Burger, so we would go over to Richter Burger, get a burger, and then we'd kind of like mosey around and then
ride the rides that we wanted to ride, because everything, like I said, besides Hagrid's was basically a walk-on, or you were waiting maybe 10 minutes max.
Yeah, like we would go ride the Mummy.
Mm-hmm. We would ride that one like back
Yeah.
to back. Like we'd get off, get back in line, and just go again because nobody was there.
Yeah, and this was also the time we went. This was also before Minion Cafe was open. So now Minion Cafe is open, which is exciting stuff. But we weren't able to go to Monsters Cafe when Monsters Cafe was open. Therefore,
We tried Mel's Diner one year. We have our favorite spots,
Right.
and we learned that by doing the 2 meetups, and we always do the 2-night ticket, because if it's expensive, but when you average the 2-night ticket out, it's a better deal.
Yep.
So the first night we would the very first meetup we ever did, on the first night we tested some stuff out, and then the second night we basically had our routine, knew what food we liked, and then basically stuck with it. And that was always starting in Harry Potter with butterbeer, and then Florian Fortescue's ice cream, and then going straight over to Richter Burger for our burgers.
and then we would always do that, and then we would kind of ride some rides,
In
mosey,
between, let your tummy rest,
Right.
walk around.
and then mosey over towards the Minion area, because at some point they will open up the walkway where the old Nickelodeon studios and the sound stages are at, where you can kind of loop your way back through over into Islands of Adventure. Mm-hmm. That then dumps you out to our favorite spot, which is
Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous.
that was Erica and I's favorite spot, because the pizza there
was
was
so good.
and I love the pizza tots, and then they had buffalo
Chicken tots.
Yeah, chicken tots. It was one of our top spots, but now, as we mentioned, theme parks change very often
Yep.
and quickly. So they've changed the what's served at
Circus McGurkus.
Yep.
And the pizza got cut from the menu. And this is universal in general.
Yep.
They changed the restaurant, not this event specifically. So we're not positive what food they'll have there now. We're assuming stuff off the new menu, but the pizza has been
cut,
so sad.
sliced.
Yeah.
How many pizza kind of funnies can I make on it? But yeah, that was our experience. We absolutely love it. We recommend it. And what I was going to say about the price, it is pricey for a 2-day ticket, but comparatively, a day ticket is probably maybe $150, and I think for these tickets it's $200 divided out, give or take. I could be wrong on that, but
I'll double check that and then let you know after you watch some of our footage from our last meetup.
Long story short is you're going to go to the theme park to eat and drink and enjoy the immersive experience, especially Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. Right now, there's also the Simpsons Land that's currently still there. Mm-hmm. So you can still get the pink donut.
And at the Orlando Informer Meetup, they did do the pink giant donut too.
Yep.
They didn't have as many of those. Jack and I never wanted one.
Right.
But just know that if you go, you can even get the pink giant donut, but you might want to make that as your first stop, because those they did sell out
Yep.
on.
But
then you'd get just a normal sized donut.
Long story short is you can get all the different butterbeers, all the different Harry Potter drinks, all of the churros you want at the snack carts, hot dogs, turkey legs. I can go on and on and on. Non-alcoholic drinks, all of the Coke freestyle machines. So if you want a Diet Coke, if you want a cherry vanilla Coke, if you want
everything's open.
Fanta, yeah, it's all open. Bottle of water. You don't have to carry anything. Literally all we carried was our cell phones and my driver's license. I think is the only 2 things I carried. I didn't take my credit cards, didn't take anything else. Only took that kind of stuff into the park because that's all we needed. We just needed our driver's license to pick up our tickets, go in. And back to the money is you're going to pay that price for the express pass. You're going to pay that to get in. You're going to pay it for food. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's actually a better price to go for the Orlando Informer Meetup, just because the wait times are low. unlimited food. You walk right up, you grab it, and you can go. And if you don't like it, you just throw it away.
Yeah, like food and drink wise, you feel bad about it, but sometimes you try something and it's not good. But yeah, I'll definitely look up pricing if I can find it. And we'll link the Orlando Informer website below because I think tickets for the June meetup go on sale. I think they just released it and they're supposed to go on sale March 7th or 10th. I'll confirm that and then let you guys know for sure. And like I said, I'll put a link to their website because they try to explain everything on there as well. But definitely the price that you pay is worth it if you're okay with a nighttime ticketed event because you can get everything done at both parks in your allotted time, especially if you go in the park at 5, because like our very first meetup, we did everything. We tried basically all the food we wanted to try. But we definitely rode every ride because we hadn't been to Universal in like years, and we were like, we gotta ride this, we gotta ride this. And the fact that you can get in at 5, you can start riding rides that are low since your food hasn't started yet. And what else are you gonna do? You could walk around, ride the rides that have the low weights, and then the ones that were long, the minute the park closes, they're all gonna be a walk on, and you can just go bang, 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 bang.
Well, with that being said, here's our experience from last year's Orlando Informer Meetup.
What's the matter with me, he asked. You're not eating properly, replied the healer.
Recruits, I am Optimus Prime. I know we aren't asking much of you this day, but the Decepticons leave us...
we hope you enjoyed those montage of clips from our last time at the Orlando Informer Meetup. And we did some recon on date. So these are date-based tickets. One ticket, 2 parks, and the price
starting price is $170. This is like a normal like Universal Day ticket.
Right, Universal Day ticket. So time they open to the time they close. One person, you get into Islands of Adventure plus Universal Studios Hollywood or Universal Studios Florida.
And tickets start at $174. So, like, let's say you're going to go this week in February. The cheapest ticket is actually $199. If you go the week of spring break, you're looking at $224. And then back down to $199 in April.
So what's like November 12th? So November 12th is usually when...
So here, how about this? So
okay.
If you went
the June meetup's usually around like the 15th or the 20th, give or take.
So if you went the weekend of the 15th, Friday is $204, Saturday is $209, Sunday is $204.
So 200 plus 200, 400, $413 before sales tax, and that's just to get into the parks for 2 days per person. No express pass.
Not 2 days, just 2 parks.
No,
for 1 day.
Well, yeah. So, but I was saying if you did the 2-day ticket of the Orlando Informer, it's $413 plus tax. No
food, no drinks.
No express pass to get on any rides.
Yeah, and like express pass meaning like just because at the Informer Meetup there's no wait.
Yep.
And you're going to be waiting if you go on a day ticket.
And the opportunity to ride Tear Down Flyers.
Yeah. And then in November, if you went the weekend, and this is like obviously just an average because the meetup was usually like the weekend of like the 15th, 16th, 17th.
I would assume it's going to be the 15th because I think Thanksgiving must be the 28th because it's $219.
But so the weekend of the 15th is $204, $209, and $204.
Which is the same $413 for the 2-day ticket.
Yep. And then December is pretty much the same for like the similar weekends that we mentioned, like the first and second weekend in December.
So, Erica math here. We're just going to do it as an even $400 for 2 days, no express pass, just to get into the park. And let's see how much the Orlando Informer ticket is. And now for the Orlando Informer Meetup ticket prices are...
So, and this is for the June meetup, mind you, because that's the next one. And the way they do their releases, because they're a small company, I think it's just easier for them to do like one meetup at a time. And they never know what kind of deal they're going to work out with Universal, so prices could change. So for the June meetup, if you go on Friday night, tickets start at $234.
Which, mind you, it was $204 that same day.
So
a difference of $30 more,
yes.
Which is basically 3 butterbeers.
Yeah, because butterbeers are like $8.99.
Yep.
So all the food and drinks that you're gonna get, you'll get your $30 worth.
And Express Pass, I think, starts at $95, and that's just the ride once. So deal.
And then Saturday, it does go up a little bit, just because Saturday, from what we noticed on the 2-night ticketed event, Saturday was always a little bit busier, and not that wait times went up. You could just tell that more people were in the park, in the walkways and stuff.
But isn't the meetup longer too?
Yeah, because it goes till 1:30 instead of 12:30.
Right.
So then Saturday it's $244,
which is $10 more than Friday, but it was $209 was the other ticket.
Yeah.
So, $34 more.
And then if you do the 2-night ticket, which is what Jack and I usually do, and like I said, for one person, it does sound like a lot, and like, but when you divide it out for 2 days and compare it to a normal day ticket at Universal, and you're getting all this food and drinks and the park basically to yourself, it's totally a deal. So the 2-night ticket is $373.
And remind you, it was $400. So that means you have a savings of basically $15 from a 2-day ticket that Universal is selling. So you're actually saving money by going to the Orlando Informer Meetup. And that's just on the ticket you're saving money. That's not even saying the food, the drink. And mind you, we took parking out of it because parking's kind of a wash. You always have to pay for parking.
And that's really only if you want to super maximize your day,
Right.
because you can get in the park at 5 and check in at 3, and that's what him and I always like to do, just because I'm big on like maximizing our day.
But I knew there was a big but coming.
If you want to save money on parking, you wait until 6, because after 6 o'clock, Universal has free parking.
Right.
So you would lose an hour in the park, but yet you're not losing any of the food or drink hour, because that doesn't start till later anyway. You're just losing like the daytime hours that you get. So you could wait till 6, park for free, and then go in, like check in, because you still got to check in first, and then food starts at like 8. So you still get basically like hour and a half walking around in the park.
Therefore, the Orlando Informer Meetup, you're basically saving money no matter which way you look at it.
Yes. So, like we said, we highly recommend look into it if you're coming to Florida and looking into a Universal trip. Like, you will have a blast at the meetup. Most people that go continue to go, and I told him, like, even living here, I think I would rather not spend money on an annual pass to Universal Studios, just because when you have an annual pass, you don't feel right really doing the meetup, because then that's like a lot of extra money that you're spending. And I would rather save our money towards doing the meetup instead of having an annual pass where I could go all the time, just because like I have such good memories from those meetups. And I was just like pure nostalgia this weekend, like, oh my gosh, it's a meetup and we can't go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us as we reminisce on our time at the Orlando Informer Meetup. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you around like a donut. I'll put a link in the description to the Orlando Informer's website. But like I said, here's a look at the pricing. The pricing does go up, so they'll release tickets and they'll tell you the date and everything, because you can sign up for their emails or just continually check back. But for the June meetup, the tickets go on sale March 7th at 10 a.m. And those will be the prices that are listed here on March 7th. And then after they do like that first release, they do go up. I don't know by how much. I can try to pay attention and add it into another video that we do. But they will increase, so it's best to buy them that day if you're able to plan ahead like that. But yes, here is a look at their pricing, and I'll put their website in our description. And then another perk that they offer, and this is more for out-of-town guests that want to stay on property, but they also offer up to 40% off at select resorts for these meetups. So you could stay at, here's the first one, like Endless Summer for $179 a night. You can stay at the Dockside Inn for $149 a night. Aventura for $159 a night. And these you can all book as well when tickets go live. I think these go live a week later, but just pay attention to the website or sign up for the email blast, and then they let you know when the hotel discounted rooms go on sale, and you can book those too. Here, I'm in the Universal app right now. So here's a look at the Universal prices for a one-day 2-park ticket, which is where you can go into Islands of Adventure, and the Universal Studios side, which is what you get for the meetup. So I'm just basing off of that. I only did a one-day ticket just because I don't know if you would do the 2-night meetup like we do. So one-night ticket in February, you can tell it's $209 and $199. Then in March, here's a look at the pricing. April. Some of these don't really matter because this isn't when a meetup is, but if you want to compare it to a meetup, like there's a meetup in June, and like I said, it's usually the weekend of the 7th, 8th, or 9th, or the 14th, 15th, 16th. So you're looking at $204 to $209. Then there's a meetup in November. And you're looking at about the same prices because it's usually the weekend of the 15th, 16th, 17th. And then here's a look at December, and it's usually the first 2 weeks in December. So you're looking at $204, $209, and $214 for pricing. So the Orlando Informer Meetup, definitely, if you can swing it and you're looking for a universal vacation, definitely check out going to the meetup event. If you're into food and drinks like Jack and I are, or just love Harry Potter, because like it's so cool to try all the butter beers and the butterbeer ice cream, and it's definitely a deal, as you can tell.